Are you curious about what's better between the RRSP or the TFSA? We'll tackle that in this video, but first, let me get into character.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is now more than a decade in the making. There seems to be a rematch every tax season. It's the ongoing saga of the RRSP versus the TFSA.
Let's go to the tail of the tape. In the red corner, it started in the 50s. It's the oldie but a goldie, advertised every February, known for its signature move, the tax deduction. It is the RRSP. Now, in the blue corner, the challenger. It's the youngin' but a bangin', got started in 2009. It's a misunderstood savings account. It is the TFSA. This bout is scheduled for 4 rounds. Round 1 will be all about contributions. Round 2 will be all about the growth inside the account. Round 3 will be all about the withdrawals. Round 4 will be scenarios which could change your plan considerations. Before the main event, let's look at the undercards. Before we get to the main event, let's talk about the other registered savings accounts. Registered accounts are special tax-favored accounts sanctioned by the CRA. Registered accounts are simple because they allow you to bucket your savings with specific goals, and their names typically give their purpose away. Which account you use should be decided by your goals, so you should always start there. The most common ones are RESP, RDSP, RRSP, TFSA, and the URSSP. Please note that even though there is no R in the TFSA, it is a registered account and it is actually a superb option for retirement, and that's why we're covering it. The RESP, or the Registered Education Savings Plan, is ideal for someone who is saving for their kids' education. The most unique advantage for the RESP is the Canada Education Savings Grant. This is a 20% top-up to a maximum of $7,200, guaranteed simply for saving for your kids' education. The RDSP, or Registered Disability Savings Plan, is a special plan for individuals who qualify for the disability tax credit. This is designed to help Canadians with long-term disabilities and infirmities to save up for their retirement. Under this plan, the government could potentially top up every dollar deposited by 3. There could be grants up to $1,500 simply with a $500 personal contribution. An eligible individual could receive up to $70,000 in grants over their lifetime. I believe all of these accounts are underutilized, and we'll definitely cover these accounts in a separate video. The URSSP is a unique one because I made it up. It stands for You Should Really Subscribe Promptly. Simply by doing so, you get weekly content like this that makes you smarter than your friends. It also comes with guaranteed cheesy jokes just like that one, so be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of the episodes. You know you like it.
Money does not possess me. Money? What is it, money? Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Hey y'all, my name's Hervin Pessa. If we haven't met before, welcome. I'm a financial planner, but just like you, I'm on a journey to building wealth and financial independence. My mission is to elevate your money game by sharing money lessons we all wish we really learned in school. If you're ready to take control of your finances and want to join me in this journey, consider subscribing and be sure to hit the bell so you never miss an episode. Now, I have to give a disclaimer, and it's actually good advice. Don't take any advice from people you don't know. I know that I go into a lot more depth about financial topics than you're used to, but please understand that this video and any material that I publish is not considered financial, legal, or investment advice. I know nothing about you. This is simply for education and entertainment purposes because I'm a fun guy. Be sure to consult with your professional financial advisor. If you don't have one, I can probably make an introduction. Okay, so the RRSP versus the TFSA, and a lot of people probably watch the first two videos just for this. We've already looked at the RRSP versus the non-registered savings accounts, and in my opinion, there's no reason for you to invest outside of registered accounts unless you've already maxed out everything. So let's tackle the big differences between these two accounts.
Round 1.
When making contributions, RRSP deposits are pre-tax dollars. That's how those deductions work. The CRA did not tax you on the amount that you put into the RRSP. TFSA deposits, on the other hand, are after-tax dollars. This means you had to pay taxes first when you earned it before you deposited into the TFSA. Let's do an example. If you are in a 30% marginal tax rate, a $1,000 contribution into the RRSP is equivalent to a $700 contribution to the TFSA. The RRSP limits are based on your income, while the TFSA limits, the amount of money that you can contribute, is based on a schedule that's adjusted every year since 2009. Qualified investment vehicles inside the account are gonna be in the screen right now. You can pause it here if you just wanna see.
Round 2.
While growing, both of these accounts grow tax-free, but there are some exemptions. The most common asterisk on this is the 15% withholding tax applied by foreign countries to dividends coming back and flowing back to Canadians. This withholding tax is not an issue with the RRSP, however, it is a concern with the TFSA. This is amplified if you use American funds for your international equity holdings, because those countries will levy a 15% withholding tax before they flow through the dividends to the American fund. And then another 15% withholding tax is levied before you receive that amount. I wanted you to be aware of this. However, please understand that this is an optimization issue. This is not a getting started issue. If you already have a significant balance in your RSP or your TFSA, you can create an asset location plan that reduces this tax drag. However, just because this withholding tax is present with the TFSA, it does not mean it's enough to stop you from using it if you are in a lower marginal tax rate and other factors that we'll discuss later in this video.
Round 3.
When making withdrawals. When making withdrawals, the RRSP is 100% taxable. The TFSA, on the other hand, is 100% tax-free. So let's look at a comparison of both accounts. Let's say that you made a $10,000 deposit today and left it alone for 25 years. Those balances then grew by 7% for 25 years. However, put into consideration that you have a 30% marginal tax rate. With the RRSP, your $10,000 deposit will grow to $52,274.22. While your tax-free savings account, because you had to pay tax, your $7,000 deposit will grow to $37,992.02. Let's say you had to pay a 25% tax after you made your withdrawals in 25 years. Before you can spend your money with the RSP, you would have to pay $13,186 of income taxes. Your net income with the RSP is $39,205.74. The TFSA is 100% tax-free, so your net income is $37,992.02. The RRSP wins in this scenario because you went from a higher tax rate to a lower tax rate. But if it was the opposite, and for whatever reason your income goes up in retirement and your marginal tax rates do the same, the net income for the RRSP will end up being lower. Let's say you bumped up to a 36%. The net income for the RRSP then will be $33,455 after taxes, while the TFSA you will still be able to get $37,992. So in this situation, the TFSA wins because you went from a lower tax bracket to a higher tax bracket. But remember the stat that I shared in video 1 and 2? Half of the population in 2018 was already in the lowest marginal tax rate. So you can't really go any lower. Somebody at the lowest marginal tax rate throughout their career will likely end up at a low tax rate when they retire.
The final round.
If your tax rate stayed constant, then it wouldn't really matter. It would be a wash between the RRSP and the TFSA if you just focused on that calculation. However, life is not that neat and tidy. There are other factors at play that go beyond the tax calculation. So I'll share 8 questions that you can use when you are trying to consider which account is actually better for you. Question number 1. What is your goal? Do you know what you're trying to do with the money? See, the RRSP and the TFSA are means to an end. Holding these does not complete your life. Having a clear idea of your goals and your time horizon will help you understand which account is better for you. The RRSP is pretty much destined for retirement, while the TFSA could work for short-term financial goals. However, if your goals are so short-term and that there isn't really enough time to grow and invest it, a regular savings account might be better for that specific cause. This is because you won't really have a lot of growth to shelter from taxes in this short term. Therefore, you're wasting tax-sheltered room in the TFSA. Question number 2. Are you paralyzed by all this? If you're so confused by all this mess between the RRSP and the TFSA and it's your last excuse not to invest, then the TFSA is a safer bet. I say that because if you contribute to the TFSA and find out that you should have been using the RRSP, it's easy to reverse. I can make a tax-free withdrawal from the TFSA and then put that into the RRSP because the TFSA limits will regenerate and I will get the same contribution room back next year. With the RRSP, once I withdraw, I don't get any new contribution rooms. Plus, of course, I'll have to pay tax on that withdrawal. So, shifting from an RRSP to a TFSA is not really ideal. Question number 3. Do you have group RRSPs? Even if the tax calculations lean towards a TFSA, if your employer has a matching program, it's better for you to max that out first before starting the TFSA contribution. This is because in most situations, every dollar you put in gets matched by your employer. This is a 100% return, my friend, and it is guaranteed. Question number 4. Do you expect to have a lower income in retirement? See, even if you are already at a low tax rate when you retire, the financial institutions that hold your RRSPs will still need to withhold money every time you withdraw. This means you don't actually get to spend all of your dollars even if you got a refund at the end of the year. This further supports the use of the TFSA for lower income individuals because they need almost every dollar that they can take out in their retirement. Question number 5. Do you need access to government benefits? Someone with a low income in retirement could qualify for other government benefits like the Guaranteed Income Supplement and Provincial Social Assistance benefits for seniors. These benefits are income tested, which means after you've earned a certain level of income, you start reducing the benefits until eventually it's wiped out. An incorrect RRSP withdrawal could eliminate these, while the TFSA typically does not pose this issue. Question number 6. Do you actually invest your refund? All of these calculations work under the assumption that you put in your full pre-tax amount into the RRSP, which means reinvesting that refund when you get it. So let me ask you, what did you invest your last refund in? A new TV? A new computer? iPhones? This behavioral risk is just far too big to ignore. So if you're not really reinvesting your refunds, then maybe prepaying the tax and investing in the TFSA would be better for you. Question number 7. Do you have a spending problem? Ooh, that's a tough question to answer. But on the flip side to number 6, if the tax-free nature of the TFSA and its liquidity adds temptation to spend, the restrictive nature of the RRSP might actually work in your favor. All the taxes could slow you down enough not to buy impulse items. I know that the math does not favor this, but if you're human like me and there's temptation all around you and you need this extra guardrail because we're not robots, 10110, that's just not who we are. So if paying the tax allows you to keep your hands off the cookie jar, then think about that, because we don't necessarily want access to this preloaded stimulus, right? The additional hurdle might actually help you. Question number 8. Will you have other sources of income in retirement? If you expect to have other sources of income in retirement, such as your employment past 65, a hobby that gives you money, a defined benefit pension, you may actually want to reconsider using the RRSP even if you have a high marginal tax rate. That's because if you don't need access to your RRSP, you will still be forced to withdraw it eventually. And any unused amount inside the RRSP is 100% taxable to your state if the beneficiary for the RRSP is not your spouse. Okay, lots and lots of things to consider, but please understand that it's not PB or J, it's PB and J, baby. Both of these accounts are available to you. Don't just use one and ignore the other. There's probably an optimal blend for you on how you could use RRSPs and TFSAs and maximize their benefits. These are some of the things that you could consider in frameworks, but always consult a financial advisor that actually knows who you are before you execute anything that you see on the internet. I'm not your advisor. I mean, it could be me if you book a consult, but I am just a random guy on YouTube. I just hope that you got enough value out of this. If you want to share this with your friends and family members, that would be great. Please let me know if there's anything that you'd want me to follow up on, any future videos. I'd really like to hear what you think, and please subscribe for more information like this. The next video is going to cover common mistakes that I see people make that would essentially blow up the RRSP. If you click here, it might even be out now. Until next time, stay aware, take control. I love y'all. Peace out.